welcome, and once again it's time for NHL Ice Hockey on Screen Sports. Tonight's game features the Chicago Blackhawks against the Philadelphia Flyers from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Taking a look at the standings in the North Division, we see Chicago and St. Louis tied at first place with 77 points. In the Patrick Division, we see Philadelphia on third place behind the Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins with 62 points. It's an intense game, and let's go and join them.
Philadelphia Flyers have, as we mentioned, dropped 6 of their last 8 games. They're still, though, a game over 500, 28-27-6, and they're a point out of second place in the Patrick Division. Mark Fawcett will be the referee here today. The linesmen, Gerard Gauthier and Mark Vines.
Ed Belfour, who else? 56th appearance, 2.46 goals against average, 33 wins, 15 losses and 4 ties. He had a brilliant game yesterday. And Ken Reggett, first start since January 5th. 8-8-0, 11 wins, 13 losses in his career against the Blackhawks. Most of those wins against the Blackhawks when he was a Toronto Maple Leaf, but he has not played a lot. Last year he played 51 games. This year he's been the forgotten man. Hextall returning and Peters playing 20 games as well, so only the 19th appearance this year for Ken Reggett.
Roy Murray, Dirk Graham, and Greg Gilbert open up for Chicago. Ron Sutter, Rick Tocchet, and Craig Berube for the Flyers. And here we go as the draw is controlled by Dave Manson, and he shoots it in. Barry Kartner back for Philadelphia, and they rule that Manson had not come to center ice when he shot it in there, so an icing whistle sounds against the Hawks.
Roy Murray gets a start with Graham and Gilbert. Roy Murray saw limited action yesterday's game. Get ahead 3-0. You don't often see players get benched when you've got a 3-goal lead. Most of the time you see players get benched when you're down 2 or 3 goals.
Now the face-off in the Hawk zone, taken by Manson. And a scrap over on the far side as Tocchet and Yanni hit the deck. Now Tocchett's back up and he's centered, but Graham steals. And Dirk Graham sends it back into the Philadelphia zone. And Reggett shot it around the board. Graham kicked it loose, but the Flyers are there. And Ron Sutter carries to center ice. Sutter to the Hawk line. Manson stood him up there and forced the play offside. Craig Berube was busting on the left wing. The Flyers had a 3-on-2 opportunity, and Sutter elected to move the puck forward and resulted in an offside call.
Well, if I was Ron Sutter, I would be reluctant to give it to Berube, too, if I was the center. I'd be looking to the right side to Tocchet if I wanted to get some assists and some points. Berube's got to hold back in that situation. Berube is out there for one purpose only, and that's to intimidate.
Now Roenick, Larmer, and Goulet step on the ice for Chicago. Keith Acton on for the Flyers with Derek Smith. And Martin and then Norman Lacombe. Here's the draw, shot into the Hawk zone, taken by Chelios. Bouncing it back to center. Now Goulet is hooked down to the ice by the high stick of Samuelson, and that's going to be a penalty as Mark Fawcett comes to check out Goulet and see if that stick did any damage. It did not appear that it did.
Goulet tried to push it to the side and then couldn't catch up with it. Clearly got hooked around the face. Goulet got whacked twice yesterday, got cut over the forehead. He was rubbed off by the rookie Primo, got a nasty gash on his forehead, and he gets high-sticked again by Samuelson. So the Blackhawks will get the first power play of the night, or this afternoon, I should say. Monday afternoon game. We're not too used to Mondays, President's Day. Back-to-back afternoon encounters. This is the 8th afternoon game of the year for Philadelphia. They enjoy having these. I think it's good to have these afternoon games. Get a lot more young fans involved. Normally can't come on nights when they have to do their homework or go to bed.
Now here's the draw taken by Manson, and here comes the Hawks on the power play. Steve Larmer rolls it over the line to Roenick. Roenick centering, but Reggett's there to pick it off. And he goes down to cover it up.
Hawks are second overall now, back on track with 3 goals yesterday, 67 goals, 295 chances. Flyers are about 79% on the power play and 14th overall in penalty killing.
unusual stance with a face-off to his left. He almost faces toward that corner. Now here's the draw coming to the near point. Manson shoots it across to Yanni. And Yanni sends it around the board. Now Goulet on the near side. Back to the line in Manson. Kept it in for Goulet. Put it over to the far point. Here's Yanni with a long shot. Ray gets a stand-up save. Rebound into the corner. A battle for it there. Gord Murphy unable to field it. It's held in by Roenick. Roenick on the far side. He cuts from the circle. Now dropped it to Goulet. Shooting, and a save by Regan. He juggled the rebound, but the Flyers are there, and Murphy clears.
A very good glove save by Regan. Goaltenders would say would like to make that first save early, get his confidence up. That should help Regan's cause.
Now a lead for Thomas, who gets the Flyer line. Bumped on the far side, then Wilson keeps it into Manson, the one-timer, and he shot it off the side of the net. Rebound to the Flyers, and they clear.
Type of play that Manson scored on yesterday, that one-timer from a pass from Doug Wilson.
Here's Presley at center ice. He bangs it in. Hudson goes racing to the far corner, centered a shot, and it's blocked at the Flyer defense as Thomas had a whack at it from close range, but it deflects over the glass and into the crowd.
The speed of Mike Hudson made that possible. He just broke in and surprised the Flyer defense, got it back out front. Thomas hacked at it, but had it deflect up over the net and into the seats. Talked about Regan not seeing much action lately. His last start, January 5th, a 3-2 loss. His last 3 starts, he's only allowed 6 goals, but he hasn't won a game.
Flyer coach Paul Holmgren had an interesting comment in the paper today talking about Regan. And then Regan, of course, has been a top goaltender any other place that he's been. Of course, here he's had to serve understudy to Ron Hextall, and Holmgren said this will be a big chance for him today. Here's Thomas with a quick chance right off the draw. Good shot blocked there by the Flyers. And the rebound is cleared by Sutter to center ice. Now taken by Wilson. Just to finish that thought on Regan, Holmgren was saying, well, he thinks he's a number 1 goaltender, keeps telling everybody he's a number 1 goaltender. Let's see how he performs today. Certainly a lot of speculation surrounding the Flyers. And they've also got Pete Peters here, of course, so a lot of folks wondering whether they might make a deal involving one of their goaltenders before the trading deadline. There's a penalty expiring to the Flyers, and they cleared in behind the Hawk net. Both teams are back at full strength. Lemieux pushed it into the Flyers zone. Barron hurries back with Presley in hot pursuit. Now they bang away in the far corner. It's kicked loose to Lacombe. He failed to clear it. Caluso put it in behind the net. Presley trying to jam it out of there. Gets help from Lemieux. He whacked it on the side of the net, but it's picked off by the Flyers' Smith. Derek Smith clearing it out to the center ice area. Hawks shoot it right back in there. Now Philadelphia's Murray Barron got it to center ice, and the Hawks shoot it into the Flyer zone. Tocchet. There's it again to center. Mike Ricci rolls it into Chicago territory. Greg Gilbert to Troy Murray, who's knocked down but slides it to center ice. Taken by Terry Kartner. He gave it to Shell Samuelson. Lifting it into the center ice area. Here comes Tocchet. Rick Tocchet to the Hawk line, and he was stood up there by Manson again, and the offside whistle results. Early in the game, no score in Philadelphia.
That's it. No scoring chances other than that by either club.
Now Murray Craven flips it over the Chicago line. Mellenby to the corner. Took a bump there from Kuchera. Now 4 players battling away in the far corner, and Kuchera and Mellenby have the sticks working a little bit. Now Mellenby digs it out. He walks into the deep slot, tees it up, shoot, and it's blocked by Kuchera. Then a backhander and a save by Belfour, and the rebound just hopped over the stick of a Flyer player in front. Bill Armstrong playing his first NHL game nearly had a glorious rebound change. Now Kartner had it knocked loose in the center ice area, and the Hawks eventually bring it in offside. Now the face-off outside the Philadelphia zone. directly up over the glass and into the crowd.
The Flyers have been decimated by injuries to key people. One guy, Mark Howe, a quarterback for years on the blue line. Darren has to pick up that load a little bit. He's called up in the minors at the beginning of the year, back and forth. Most of his time has been spent in Hershey, American Hockey League team. Very successful franchise, by the way. They had 6,500 people at their game on Saturday night.
There's Keith Acton jostling Belfort, who wandered to the corner to play it. A little scuffle behind the play. The Hawks are going to get a penalty as Hudson worked over Acton a bit. And so now the Flyers are going to get their first power play chance in a game. No score.
First power play, Acton and Hudson involved in behind the net. And the only guy that gets the penalty is Hudson. Hudson went down. Both of them doing about the same amount of extracurricular activity, and the only guy that goes to the box is Hudson. Flyers 6th overall in the power play with 56 goals.
Here's Hartner at center ice. To Tocchet. Rick Tocchet rolled it ahead. Ricci got it in deep. Now Yanni pounds it around the boards. Graham picks it up nicely on the far side, beating Larmer. One man to beat. Larmer in over the line against Hartner. Goes wide. Shoot! He got a piece of the outside of the net, and it deflects eventually into the crowd.
One thing you need to do against Reggett, you've got to get him to move his feet. You've got to get him to move side to side. He's not a very balanced goaltender. He somehow gets the job done, but good work by Graham to give it to Larmer. Larmer goes one-on-one against Kartner. Fakes. Gets the body in front of the puck, drifts over to his left, cranks it up in the dot. Reggett moving down, and he had the open far side. And I think he might have gotten a piece of the post, Larmer, in his attempt to score a shorty.
Here's a draw to Kartner with room on the near side to shoot it in. Belfort looking to clear, and he did get it by Murphy, who fell down at the far point. Kartner has to hurry back with Larmer hustling. Kartner does get there. Now put it to Gord Murphy. Or Eklund over the line. He dropped it at Tocchet on the near side. He put it to Ricci, but he's unable to get off a shot. Into the near corner it goes. Mike Ricci put it in behind the Hawk net. Eklund centers. They score! Ricci on a give and go. A great return pass from Eklund. Now Manson and Tocchet drop the glove. And the Flyers have taken the lead on Mike Ricci's 9th power play goal of the year. He leads the team, but he and Eklund moved it beautifully there, and now a scuffle with Manson and Tocchet.
Well, we talked about Eklund at the beginning. He is an excellent passer and playmaker. Now 42 assists, leading the team in that department, but nice give and go with Eklund and Ricci, the fine young rookie, and Ricci made him pay. And then Tocchet and Manson get involved as the goal was scored. Ricci and Tocchet, 2-on-1 situation in behind. Eklund behind the net. Quick little pass. Yanni gets there a little late. Ricci with a one-timer, and Belfort had no chance. And the Flyers strike first and take the lead on the power play. The 3 Flyer players in behind the net. Yanni went to go to Eklund behind the net, stopped, came back, and just that thought about going cost him an opportunity to get back in front to prevent Ricci from getting the pass.
17 goals for Ricci, 9 on the power play, which leads the Flyer team. Eklund with a great pass to set him up. Eklund and Tocchet are given the assist at 6-11. And 5-minute fighting penalties to Manson and Tocchet. So the Flyers cash in on the special team and grab a 1-0 lead. You would have to figure that this was likely to be a low-scoring game. You've got the Blackhawks, who lead the league with a 2.58 team goals against average. The Flyers are 4th best at 309. Here's a loose puck to Larmer over the line. Fires into the glove of Reggett. He just happened to shoot it right there.
Well, Steve Larmer's second good chance of the afternoon. The first one was shorthanded. opportunity, hit the post. This one, Roenick strips it away, slips it past Samuelson to Larmer at the top of the circle, moves in, tries to go high to the glove side, didn't quite get it high enough, and shot it right into the glove of Reggett, who was standing about 4 feet outside the circle of the net.
So the face-off will be to the right of Reggett. Now Roenick and Sutter get ready. There's the draw. Roenick won it to Kuchera. His shot goes wide. Chelios keeping it in. Sends it around the board. Here's Goulet. His pass hit a leg. Now Roenick got it loose to Larmer in the far circle. Steve Larmer into the deep slot. Then he put it outside the line and brings it back in offside with 13.5 to go in the opening period. Philadelphia leads 1-0. Pat Foley and Dale Talon in the Spectrum, where the Flyers have a 1-0 lead here in the first period, and Philadelphia now dumping it into the Hawk zone. Over to the far side it goes. Hudson picks it up behind the net, then got tied up by Mellenby. Then it came loose side of the goal. Ricci or Armstrong tried to center, came loose. A long shot doesn't get through, and now the Hawks come away. There's Steve Thomas with a long shot, and it's deflected over the glass and into the balcony.
Well, the Flyers with good forechecking once again get a scoring chance out of it. And Prentice Kuchera, he's got to be one tired hockey player. He played Thursday night at the stadium and then went down to Indianapolis and played there in back-to-back weekend games. Played yesterday afternoon and plays again today. And he logged a lot of ice time yesterday.
Scott Sandelin, wearing number 50 for the Flyers, just called up from their Hershey team. There's the draw taken by Doug Wilson, who shoots it in. Comes around the near side, and Craven got it out to center ice, and a penalty is going to be called behind the play. As Murray Craven made the outlet pass, he was grabbed and then retaliated. And the Hawks go to the power play. It's 1-0 Philly.
Well, a bad penalty taken by Murray Craven, a slashing call. Lemieux just spun him around and delayed offside, just turned around and whiplashed him with the stick across the back. And the Blackhawks will get their second power play. The time of the penalty, 7:15 of the first period. It was a slow start here to this first period.
Here's the draw taken by the Flyers, and Kartner clears it. Chris Chelios now starting the Chicago power play away. Cleared it to Wilson, whose pass was behind Mike Peluso at center. Flyers clear it.
The pass was intended for Roenick on the far side, and Peluso just put a stick behind him and stopped it.
Peluso dumping it in. Reggett shot it to the near board, bouncing to the line. Chelios holds it in. Got it across to Wilson on the far board. Aired it in behind the Flyer net. Larmer's after it there. Puts it to the line. Chelios to the bouncing puck. Attempting to hold in. Eklund tied him up, however, and it's cleared back the other way. A minute to go on the Hawk power play. Now here comes Wilson. Wilson gets the Flyer line. Coming to the near board. Had to clear it in behind the net. Samuelson sweeps it around the far side. Held in by Murray. To Larmer in the deep slot. He put it to the top of the ring. Chelios shoots, and it's saved by Reggett. He saw it all the way. Rebound to the Flyers. And Lacombe will clear. Dirk Graham hounded by Sutter. Ron Sutter nearly took it away. Then he got tied up by Chelios. And Chris Chelios got it to Troy Murray. Murray crossing the Flyer line. Swings it around the board. Got a bad hop. It came to the slot, but the Flyers are there. And they clear. And that's going to do it for the Chicago power play. Both teams are now back at full strength. In In the Philadelphia zone, Thomas on the near board took a bump. Lemieux in trying to jam it loose. Ricci tied him up, though, and the whistle sounds. So the Flyers again don't face much trouble against the Hawk power play.
They've had one scoring chance on their 2 power plays. Goulet had the chance, but he doesn't get another opportunity on the second power play. Steve Thomas, who scored yesterday and had a great scoring chance, scored it because of a broken stick, and that's not the first time that's happened this year, where the wooden blade off that aluminum shafted stick snapped off.
Face off in the Flyer zone. Cleared around to the far side, and now out to center. Here's a feed missing Armstrong, sliding into the Chicago end. Over to the far board, Murphy. He leaves it. Here's a long shot. Belfour gloving it. Now held it long enough to draw the whistle. Ellenby and Peluso having words, but officials alertly on the scene. Well, the face-off will be to the right of Ed Belfour, making appearance number 61 here today. Appearance number 56 out of 61 games. His 20th consecutive start. Mike Hudson out between Thomas and Presley. Acton with Chris Jensen and Craig Berube for the Flyers. Here's a draw, long shot, and a save by Belfour on the chance from Fenves. Coming into the near corner, Jensen works against McGill. A couple of others joining in. Nobody can gain control just yet. Acton finally does, but his pass hopped away from Berube, and Steve Thomas gathers it in. Tried to beat Presley, but he couldn't hang on at center ice. And Dave Fenves bounces it back into Chicago ice. Now cleared to center. Here's Thomas racing ahead. Thomas gets the line, left it for Presley, shooting. Deflected wide by a sliding Fenves. Now at the side of the net, Reggett gloves it, and he's going to play it. Taken by Berube. Cleared it to the near corner. Presley couldn't pry it loose from Fenves. And the penalty is going to be called as Jocelyn Lemieux ran over Berube from behind. He went headfirst into the boards, and the Flyers go to the power play. They lead 1-0.
Mike Hudson takes his second trip to the penalty box. First one was for holding. This one is for charging. He takes 1-2 strides and knocks Berube from behind into these end corner boards. I've seen that penalty called more and more. Fawcett putting the arm up. It's a dangerous situation for the player that's on the receiving end with his back to the player, about 2 feet away from the boards, and you can get hurt badly with that. So they call that more and more, and now Hudson goes to the box, and the Flyers get their second power play of the period. They're 1 for 1. Blackhawks have had 2 power plays as well, but neither one of the power plays really on track. Before yesterday's game, they were 3 for 27. Now they're 6 in the last 35. All Holmgren coaching a team that's been decimated by injuries to key personnel. In a very tight Patrick division, you've got to turn things on in a hurry. You can ill afford a slump. There's only 5 points separating the last playoff spot to the second spot overall in the Patrick division.
And you have one bad week in this division, you can drop 3 or 4 places in a hurry. Here comes Terry Kartner. Sends it under the Chicago zone. The race is on. Yoni's going to get there, and it's an icing call against Philadelphia.
Trent Yoni hustling back to get that icing situation. Was hit hard by Ricci. Ricci, who was the Canadian Junior Hockey Player of the Year, who's an excellent prospect for this team. Off to a slow start with a bad hand. He's rounding himself into shape here, having a pretty good second half. 17 goals now in 51 games for Ricci. He's a very intelligent player.
Awfully big shoes to fill, but a lot of people have compared him to the guy who was the heart and soul of the Flyers for so many years, Bobby Clark. Really, a lot of people seem to feel he's got those same types of leadership qualities. Here's the draw taken by the Flyers, and Kartner comes out with it. Harry Kartner moved it to the near side, and Murphy hits the line center, and here's a chance. Eklund's in alone. He scores! Pelly Eklund again. The Hawks with a blown assignment, which plagued them yesterday, and Eklund was all alone. It's 2-0 Philly.
And Murphy carrying the puck inside the line on this side. Two defensemen too close together. Eklund just got behind Larmer and Yanni. Yanni wasn't paying attention. That one defenseman on the far side. Let him come to the middle. Don't let him beat you wide. But Murphy crosses the line, and Yanni plays over at Murphy and leaves Eklund all alone. And he stops, has Belfour go down, and then puts it over his shoulder. And a 2-0 lead for the Flyers. 2 power play goals.
Assist number 3, Gord Murphy.
Murphy and Kartner get the assist on Eklund's goal at 11:36.
36 seconds. Kelly Eklund scores his 12th goal.
So the Flyers with 2 power play goals lead 2-0. Play is in the Philadelphia zone. Got Mellenby. Cleared it to the near side. Dave Fenves bounced it to the neutral zone. Now Mellenby trying to move it. He's knocked down, and the Hawks are going to be shorthanded again.
Well, that was just good second effort by Mellenby to create the chance for a penalty.
Philly has scored 2 power play goals already. They go to another one in a moment.
First shift of the afternoon. Kegney's hooking Mellenby. Mellenby hooked down by McGill. McGill goes to the box, and the Flyers get another power play chance. They're 2 for 2.
Here's the draw shot into the Philadelphia zone. Gord Murphy takes over for the Flyers. Gave it to Pelly Eklund. Eklund wheeling to center, trying to thread the pass through the middle. It's deflected, and the Hawks clear it back the other way. And Kartner sends Eklund again to center ice. Eklund put it over the Hawk line. Ricci on the near board, tees it up, shoots, and a save by Belfour, and he holds on.
Ricci and Eklund worked it beautifully in the first power play. Pelly Eklund again carrying the puck up the ice. Looked forward, just dumped it over to Ricci. Didn't even look at Ricci. That's the way you're taught to move the puck. You don't follow the puck. Look one way, pass it the other. Made an excellent play. Eklund is a tremendous playmaker. And he sprung Ricci, and Ricci from a sharp angle let a bullet go that Belfour made the save on.
With the Flyers having scored twice already in the power play, now Keenan sends out Goulet and Presley on this penalty-killing situation, along with Chelios and Kuchera. Here's a tip attempt, and Ricci deflected it inches wide, and a nice setup from Kartner. Back of the net it goes. Chopped away from Eklund, coming to the near point. Kartner kept it in. To Eklund in the corner. Chelios stepped into him. As Chelios poked it free along the boards, but it's right to Tocchet. In behind to Eklund. He centered it, just missing Tocchet. Presley steals and clears. Now Murphy back over the Hawk line to Craven on the far board, seaming behind the net, trying to center it. It's batted out of midair back to center ice. Goulet got turned around there, and Gord Murphy controls for the Flyers. Cleared it to the right wing board. Over the line, Mellenby dropped it to Tocchet. He centered, picked off by Larmer, and Larmer battles his way back into the Philadelphia zone. Inning ridden there by Barron is finally taken away to Craven. Craven gets the line, dropped it back. Barron the shot, gloved by Belfour, and he hangs on.
Well, Belfour loved to see those shots all day long. A weak wrist shot from well away from the net. Nobody in front of him, and made an easy save on Barron's weak.
2-0 in favor of the Flyers. Face off to the left of Belfour. Here's the draw right to Samuelson. A shot stopped by Belfour. Rebound lays loose. Smith trying to jam it out of there. It comes to the slot. Smith, a shot deflected inches wide of the near post. Now in the corner, Sutter got away from Yanni. In behind it, Lacombe centered it. It's shot wide. Now behind the net, Roenick picks it up. The Hawk penalty's over. Both teams are back at full strength. Bob McGill able to clear to center. The Flyers dump it back in. And they had failed to clear the zone, so as it was heading toward the Hawk goal, the offside whistle sounds.
Hawks get themselves in trouble again with a lost faceoff, and that's been the story most of the year. Faceoffs hurt them yesterday, and hurts them again right there in that situation, almost resulting in a goal. But the faceoff went cleanly back to the point, along with a good offensive chance. Lacombe in behind the net, out front. Dave Manson pulls down Sutter. He's lucky he didn't get a penalty there after the penalty to McGill had just expired. And Sutter with 13 goals from 33 points in his first 61 games.
Now here's the draw taken by Chelios. Clearing to center where Hudson shoots it in. Murphy, he and Reggett didn't communicate. It came loose at the side of the net. Reggett's trying to keep it out. He did. But he and Murphy got confused about who was going to play the puck, and it laid there, causing a chance for the Hawks.
Reggett comes out of the net and then just leaves it there. Thomas hustles. Murphy's shot hits him in the foot, goes to Hudson, and he almost surprised Reggett. Almost had it deflected off his skates and in from an angle behind the net. Reggett comes out of the net and leaves it for his defenseman Murphy. Much more difficult task for the goaltenders this year, with the goal line being extended a foot further away from the end boards, 11 feet now instead of the old 10-foot rule. Goaltenders almost got to cheat now to make that play.
Here's the draw. Thomas, a turnaround shot, and he scores. The face-off rolled right into the slot. A big scramble for it there. Thomas got control and pumped it in with a turnaround effort, and the Hawks are on the board, trailing 2-1.
Face-offs, we mentioned, are so important. You can get a lot of scoring chances because of it, and you can get yourself out of trouble on the other way in the defensive way, but quick hands by Thomas. Turned around quickly and fired it. Hudson does battle in front, prides to the front of the net. Turnaround shot by Thomas with Reggett swimming to his left, and Thomas tucks it in against his former mate, Ken Reggett. 13th goal of the year for Steve Thomas.
Steve Thomas is 13th. Assist for 17, Wayne Presley.
Presley and Hudson
20, Mike Hudson.
get the assist at 14:40.
Steve Thomas scored for Chicago, the assist.
And Thomas with his 13th cuts the Flyer lead in half. Here's the play behind the Hawks at McKegney. Tied up there, now lost the handle. And Berube looks to jam it loose. He did to Acton in the near corner. Heath Acton put it back behind the goal. Now Berube battles McKegney. There's Berube winning control. Greg Berube leaves it in the near corner for Chris Jensen. Jensen had it knocked off his stick finally, and Lemieux kicks it back to center ice. Berube gets flattened by Lemieux, then gets an angry look. Berube delivered to the Hawk forward. The play continues as Peluso gave it to Lemieux, and he shoots it in. Now the Flyers, they're into the Hawk line, taken by Manson. Backing it out to center ice. Dave Fenvis trying to bounce it ahead. Gilbert picked it off. Got it to Troy Murray shooting it in. Flyers unable to clear it for the moment. Now it's picked up by Samuelson. Del Samuelson gets the Hawk line. Put it to the far side. Ricci centered it. Samuelson deflecting it wide. Taken by Dirk Graham. 3.5 minutes left in the opening period. 2-1 Philadelphia. As Hartner Comes to the center ice area, feeding Ricci over the line. He dropped it. Then a centering pass hits the skate as Tocchet tried to put it in front. And now Michel Goulet got it to Dirk Graham. Carrying it into the Flyer zone. Roenick trying to center it, bouncing puck, and Regan sweeps it away from Goulet. Now Roenick, far point to Wilson. Tees it up, shoots, it doesn't get through. Then they score! Tipped in by Jeremy Roenick. Wilson's shot was deflected and slowed in the process, and Roenick appeared to chip it in off the side of the net, and the Hawks had scored twice and tied the game.
Roenick with a heads-up play, back to the point. Then he rolls to the front of the net or to the side of the net. Wilson's shot hits a skate, hit Ron Sutter, and might have hit Tocchet as well, and deflected right to Roenick. Neat deflection on the forehand past Regan from a sharp angle to tie the game at 2. Goal coming at 16:46 of the first period. The Flyers, with 2 power play goals, took the lead, and now 2 goals for the Blackhawks in just over 2 minutes.
And that the elderly gal that's doing a little tap dance in the stands is Jeremy Roenick's grandmother, who made it out to the game today, and she gets a thrill as her grandson scores his 31st of the year. Doug Wilson assisting at 16:46. And the Hawks, scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes, have caught the Flyers at 2-2 late in the first.
Doug Wilson cranks it up, it hits Sutter, deflects right to Roenick, and a nice soft hand shown by Roenick there. A neat deflection past Ken Regan to tie the game.
Now in the Flyer zone, Murphy, and a couple of players hit the deck. Thomas trying to forecheck, and Regan got in his way, but the play continues. Here's Craven over the Hawk line. The late man is there, and he shoots, and a save by Belfour. Rebound taken by Chelios. Cleared it up the boards, and Presley feeding Hudson in center. Hudson has the line, then dropped it to Kuchera, and the play is ruled offside.
I don't know, that puck seemed to be on the blue line the whole time. Hudson's pass never went outside the line. It was across the line the whole way. After that, though, the Flyers with a good chance. 3-on-3, 4-on-3, because Barron caught up with the play. He got away from the check, and the shot deflected just wide. Hawks are getting people back, but they're just not in the right places. They're all following the puck instead of picking up the man. I just want the 2 defensemen to take the 2 closest guys to the puck, and then the winger to take the furthest guy away. And that didn't happen in that case, and almost resulted in a good Flyer scoring chance.
Berube and Lemieux had quite a collision on their last shift. They have a little conversation here as they line up for the face-off in the neutral zone. Tony McKegney, who only very rarely in his long career has played at center, has been utilized in that position the last 3 games now by Keenan. And McKegney's got Peluso on his left and Lemieux on his right. It's shot into the Chicago zone, and McKegney clearing it back to the Flyer line. Taken by Dave Fenton. His pass hit the stick of Lemieux and flies into the Flyer bench.
Intermission is a great time to pick a back copy.
Greg Berube getting a lot of ice time. 197 minutes in penalties. With 3 goals and 7 assists, but he's had a good first period.
Here's on the line of card inside Flyer magazine. We'll call those winning numbers in the third period. Winners will also have their names automatically entered for a special grand.
Berube and Lemieux have had a battle. Berube playing his wing.
Today's Flyer magazine, you'll receive a free Flyers team poster with valuable coupons.
Lemieux picks up his check, makes sure. Takes a look over his shoulder to see where Berube is. Good coverage.
Now it's stuffed into the Chicago zone. Manson back. Dave Manson unable to get it out. Flips it up the near side, and Barron holds it in again. Manson bumped in the corner. Tocchet took it away. Moves behind the net. Yanni looking to tie him up there, and finally Peluso gets knocked down on top of the puck. And so the whistle sounds. Now Peluso pushes Ricci as he was getting up. And a big gathering on the far side. And that's all for now, it appears.
Peluso scored yesterday on the power play with a quick wrist shot, and I think Peluso will be sent off. It looked like offsetting minor penalties, I would think, at the roughing call on Peluso and Ricci as well. Well, after the whistle blew, Ricci came in and tried to poke the puck after him. When the whistle blew, and Peluso took exception to it. Nobody likes to have their knees or legs jammed with a stick after the whistle, and Ricci did that. Peluso got up and took a poke at him, so it got offsetting minor penalties with 1:36 to go here in the first period. 4 goals scored in the first period. These teams have been good at keeping the puck out of their nets, but both these teams have been struggling offensively.
Here's the draw. Cleared into the Hawk zone. Chelios behind the net. Surrounded by Flyers. Now Kucherin to help out. Goes up the middle to Murray. Nice feed to Gilbert on the left side. Dumping it into the Philadelphia zone. Reggett wanders to the corner and plays it up the boards, but Murray keeps it in. Murray knocked down in the near corner. Now trying to jam it out. He does. And Gilbert gets turned around by Samuelson as they wrestle on the near side. And finally is shot back into the Chicago end as we go to the final minute of the period. Troy Murray. But it knocked off his stick. Chelios deep in his own zone. Clears it to the far side. Ellenby had it taken away by Larmer. Larmer turning at center to buy some time as the Hawks were changing. But finally Craven takes it away. Now Larmer gets over the Flyer line shooting. He just fired it up over the crossbar as he had Reggett beaten high to the glove. And now McGill looking to hold it in. He got knocked down and it's cleared to center ice. Here's Lacombe over the line trying to center it. Ron Sutter unable to catch up with that pass. And Bob McGill gets knocked down in the far corner and makes sure as he gathers the puck in that he won't lose any positioning, and he gets a whistle.
Well, he was tripped. He had position. He looked like he had a step on the forechecker, and down he went. Heads up play. Flat on his stomach, able to pull the puck under him and get a face-off. There's only 10 seconds to go here in the first period. The period that really has yet to develop any type of flow. Flyers, though, have had a bit of an edge. They seem to be forechecking better than the Blackhawks. Their forwards aren't being held up quite enough, and they've been able to get on the hockey fence in a hurry and get them with their back to the front of the net.
Hudson and Sutter to the left of Belfour. Now ready, another lost draw. Here's a chance for Murphy, but his shot was blocked. Coming to the near side, it's cleared to center, and that's going to do it for the first period. Well, in the opening period here today, 8 shots on goal for Chicago, 12 for Philadelphia. The Flyers cashing in on 2 power play opportunities in the first part of the period. Mike Ricci on a nice give and go from Eklund, and Tocchet at 6:11 got Philadelphia on the board. Then Pelle Eklund scored himself from Murphy and Kartner at 11:36. The Blackhawks cut into the lead when Steve Thomas scored from a goal mouth scramble, his 13th of the year. Hudson and Presley assisting at 14:40. And then Jeremy Roenick with the nice soft hands from a tough angle, able to chip one in for his 31st of the year. Roenick from Wilson at 16:46 to get the Blackhawks back even in the game. After 20 minutes in the Spectrum in Philadelphia, it's the Blackhawks 2, the Flyers 2. Here we go now with the second period, and the draw is controlled by the Flyers. Barron shot it into the Hawk zone, but it was well short of center ice. So just as the first period started with an icing call after 7 seconds, second period gets an icing call after 8 seconds. And the draw back into the Philadelphia zone. Murray, Gilbert, and Graham on for Chicago. Murray, Craven on for the Flyers with Tocchet and Eklund. The top 3 scorers for Philadelphia. Tocchet has 62 points now. Eklund has 54. And Craven has 49. There's the draw right to the doorstep, and Reggett sweeps it to Barron, who put it to the far side. Manson kept it in, and Craven took it away and cleared to Tocchet at center. Rick Tocchet in on Yanni. Turns on the near side, or tries to. Lost an edge and had to clear it in behind the net. Now a centering pass. Oh, and Eklund just barely missed redirecting that. Back comes Greg Gilbert. Gilbert over the Flyer line. His long shot patted aside easily by Reggett. Now came loose to Murray. Near point to Kuchera. His shot tipped. And a save by Reggett. Rebound to the Flyers. Pelle Eklund cleared it to Tocchet, who gets the line. And Chelios able to tie him up. It's cleared back to center, and Goulet 2-on-2. Crossing the line, Goulet centered it, and Larmer had a half step on his man, but a good play defensively by Kartner prevented the pass from getting there. Barry Kartner gave it to Pelle Eklund on the far side. Now Samuelson. His pass intercepted, and Eklund has to chase back into his own zone. Eklund got it too far for Lacombe. Now two Flyers tried to converge on Larmer. He stepped out of the way, and Samuelson ran into his own man, Smith. Here's Goulet trying to center it. And Murphy gets back into the center ice area for the Flyers. Over the line to Derek Smith. Smith into the near corner, and Chelios tied him up. Then Lacombe keeps it in. Dropped it to the far point. Barron swings it around the board. Smith to the near corner. But it knocked away. Then Murphy a long shot stopped at the defense by Kuchera. And here comes Presley back. To Goulet on left wing over the line, takes a look, centered it. Oh, and it just hopped away from Presley. Great pass by Goulet, and he just got a bad bounce on it. As Presley had his stick right in perfect position. Now a long shot from the Flyers. But Sutter's shot, as it was gloved by Belfour, was ruled to be an offside play anyway. Face off to the left of Ed Belfour. And Murray wins the draw to Yanni. Cleared it to the far side. Now Murray gets it over the line. Graham tries the return pass, but Kartner's skate was in the way. And now a penalty is going to be called as a couple of players go crashing into the end board.
Troy Murray had his feet taken from under him, and he and Graham trying to go the give and go, and he went crashing into the end boards. Samuelson once again just pulls down Troy Murray, and Samuelson goes to the box the second time today. You get the first penalty of the first period and gets the first penalty of the second period. This one coming at 4:06.
The Hawk power play, after scoring 3 times yesterday, ineffective in the first period today in a couple of chances, and let's see if they can crank it up in better fashion here with this opportunity. Face-off will be to the left of Reggett, as Roenick, Larmer, and Goulet are on with Wilson and Chelios. Ron Sutter for the Flyers with Craven, Kartner, and Murphy.
Steve Larmer is in to take the face-off. He might be the best face-off man the Hawks have, and he's very rarely done it in his career.
I don't know what the percentages are, but I would imagine if he's not the leader, Larmer, he's one of the better face-off men for the Hawks. I think he might be, as Dale said, the best face-off man Chicago has. Here's the draw coming to the near side. Roenick dug it out, but his pass is stolen. And the Flyers, Kartner trying to waste a little time. Played it to Murphy in his own end, and he'll clear. And he had his clearing effort hit a Hawk player over the boards. So the Hawks catch a break, and a face-off will be in Philadelphia territory. Here's the draw to the Flyers, and Kartner clears. Here comes Roenick trying to wind it up. He's cut off and forced to play it to Chelios, whose pass is a 2-line pass that's taken by Larmer, so the whistle sounds.
Chelios' pass was intended for Wilson, just missed him. Larmer was ahead of Wilson, and he was across the line. Good call by the official.
So the draw at the Chicago line. And the Flyers win control with Murphy clearing it into the Chicago zone, taken by Chelio. Gave it to Wilson. There's going to be a penalty coming up as Larmer knocked down the forward-checking Acton, and that'll take care of the Hawk power play. 5 minutes gone in the second, 2-2, and Chelio's going to get another penalty.
Acton with a beautiful dive, and Larmer gets the penalty, and then Chelios takes exception to it. And Chelios better shut up, or he's going to get worse than he's already gotten. Now the Blackhawks with two of their better players in the penalty box. There's still time left on their power play.
So 4 skaters aside for the next minute, and then the Flyers will head to the power play. Now the draw controlled by Philadelphia's Mellenby on right wing. Mellenby gets the Hawk line, trying to center it. Good coverage by Manson as he had Craven tied up. And it rolls free back into the neutral zone. Now Craven whacked by Presley as he gets to the line. The puck squirts free, and now the Flyers control in their own zone. Here's Barron beating Mellenby on the far board into the Hawk end. He's surrounded there, taken away by Yanni. Beating Greg Gilbert. Gilbert into the Philadelphia zone, dropped it to Murray. Murray trying to cut for the net. Centered one, tipped, off the skate of Gilbert and just wide of the far post. Now at the line, Kuchera couldn't get there to keep it in. Hawks have to regroup at center as Wilson. That is past the fleck. Now the Philly penalty is over, and the Flyers are on the power play for another 45 seconds. And here they come as Eklund is forced to turn at the Hawk line. Now regrouping at center ice. Gave it to Mike Ricci, who shoots it in. Wilson back, has time, clearing. One more rush on the Flyer power play. Rick Tocchet, deep slot to Murphy. He's open, he shoots, deflected right on, and a save by Belfour. He got a break there. He was lunging to his left, and it hit somebody and deflected right back underneath his pad where he managed to smother it.
Luckily for Belfour, it stopped as it was redirected. It was going left, and then he had to kick back to his right, and the puck just sort of stopped right there. Tocchet across the line, back to Murphy, who was left all alone, moves into the slot. Wrist shot, deflected, might have hit Ricci in the leg and deflected back to Belfour's right. "17 seconds left on the power play.
Mike Ricci in his rookie campaign, 17 goals, 33 points. Gets a lot of work on the Flyer power play. Here's the draw, shot into the Philadelphia zone. And as the Flyers start back, the minor to Larmer expires, so both teams are back at full strength. And Rick Tocchet gets over the Hawk line. In the deep slot, a long shot is blocked at the defense. And Manson pushes it back into Philadelphia territory. Taken by Dave Fenves. Fenves to Ricci, who slides it to center ice. Captured there by Manson. And his speed winds up in a scrum along the boards, and the whistle sounds. 12.5 left in the second period. The Hawks and the Flyers locked up at 2. With Dale Talon, Pat Foley in the Philadelphia Spectrum. And in the first 2 meetings of the year between Chicago and Philadelphia, the road team was the winner. Hawks try to keep that intact here today. Hawks have rallied from a 2-goal deficit to catch the Flyers at a deuce. And now the plays in the Philadelphia zone, and Mike Hudson's going to get his 3rd penalty of the game as Gord Murphy goes down, and the Flyers go back to the power play.
Well, Mike Hudson's going to have to put one of those little lights on top of his helmet. It's his 3rd minor of the hockey game. This one for holding at 7:47. 2 power play goals already this afternoon for the Flyers. This will be their 5th opportunity with the man advantage. They scored both goals with Hudson in the penalty box. Hudson's hoping that changes. Or he might move benches for the rest of the day.
He might just want to stay in there. Now the play in the neutral zone. Gord Murphy gets the Hawk line, got it to the near board reach. He centered one. It didn't get through Yanni. Now in the deep slot, here's Tocchet shooting, and he blasted it just wide. Samuelson got turned around. Nice play by Graham to jam the puck back into the Flyer zone. Now it's cleared behind the Philadelphia goal, taken by Terry Kartner. Kartner got it to Ricci. Now Tocchet feeding Murphy to the line. Gord Murphy cleared it in behind the net. Wilson chopped at it there. It bounces over to the corner. Kartner trying to jam it loose. Now taken by Ricci. Then he can't find the handle as his stick is being held by Gilbert. Puck came free, top of the ring, up over the stick of Kartner. And the Flyers have to regroup at center ice. Now Kartner hoisting it back into the Chicago end. Manson was tied up. He couldn't control it. Here's Craven side of the net. Top of the ring. Samuelson is shot well wide. He was hoping for a tip. Didn't get it. Now into the far corner goes Manson. He picks it up with time, and his clearing effort hit somebody. Flyers keep it coming, though. Greg Gilbert was hogtied by Murray Barron, and the short. It's 2-2 midway through the second.
Dave Manson's clearing attempt hit Gilbert. Gilbert tried to get at it. Murray Barron pulls him down. Looked like Gilbert was diving on his own to try and get at the puck, but they ruled that Barron tripped him, and that nullifies the remainder of the power play. And in 29 seconds, the Blackhawks will get their 4th power play of the afternoon. They're 0 for 3. Flyers are now 2 for 5.
There's the draw taken by Sutter. His long shot deflected, rebound, and Craven couldn't get any wood on that. Now the Blackhawks, Kuchera scoops it at Presley, racing in there after it. He turns in the far circle, got rid of a check. Presley tees it up, now shooting, and a save by Reggett, and he hangs on.
Well, that was a shot that might have been labeled, might have been in if Reggett doesn't make the save from a very sharp angle with little room. Presley turned, circled back, and then came back to the dot, cranked it up, and Reggett with a glove save. It might have hit the side of the net, but too close for Reggett to let go. Blackhawks looking to get back on the power play here in 11 seconds. And Presley, who's really played well of late, the last 3 or 4 games. He and Thomas starting to catch fire offensively, and the Hawks need some other offensive production other than the Ronick, Larmer, Goulet line, and that line has been slowed somewhat too. But most of the opposing teams now realize that they pretty well stopped that line. They shut down the Hawk offense, so the Hawk offense is going to need some help from Thomas, Presley, and other people. Troy, Murray, Graham.
The Hawk offense, well, in the last 7 games, Chicago has a record of 2-4-1. In those previous 7 games, the Hawks have scored just 21 goals. And remember, one of those was an 8 spot in that poorly goaltended game in the Montreal Forum. So that's just 13 goals in the other 6 games. Here's the Hawk power play now as Kuchera put it in behind the net. Mike Hudson took a bump from Kartner, then it's dug out by Thomas. Thomas takes a look, fakes the shot in the far circle, put it to the deep slot. Kuchera, he'll let it go. Reggett the save, rebound underneath him. And he gets a whistle.
Good save by Reggett. He didn't pick it up to the last second. It got through a maze of legs in front of him, and he located it in a hurry, made the save, and fell on top of it. Presley, I should say Thomas, faked the shot, got it to Kuchera. Kuchera, good shot to get it past the stick. Right on target, almost deflected by Hudson. He just missed it, but excellent concentration by Reggett, making a key save on the Hawk power play. Samuelson and Kartner, you won't see 2 bigger defense from the net. They still had difficulty moving the people from in front of the net. Coaches is always harping on the defenseman to move the people from in front of the net. Samuelson and Kartner can't do it. Who can? They're both. Samuelson was 6'6", 235 without his equipment on. Kartner's a big boy as well.
Reggett, meanwhile, behind everybody, knowing the puck was back in the deep slot, but having no idea when the shot was released. He was trying to look through all the legs and sticks to get a look at it. Now here's the draw behind the Philadelphia goal as Roenick gets tied up, then Larmer jammed it loose to the line. Manson far point, long wrist shot, doesn't get through, and it's cleared to Ron Sutter at center. He's trying to readjust his helmet, failed to get it down the rest of the way. Larmer right back over the line to Manson on the far point. Across to Wilson, takes a look, fires it, and blocked by Sutter. Rebound into the corner. Samuelson there, and he clears it down all the way. One more quick rush on the Hawks power play. Larmer flips it in there. Kartner jams it loose on the board. To Lacombe, who clears it. Now Jeremy Roenick lost the handle at center. Flyers clear, and that does it for the Philadelphia penalty. Both teams are back at full strength, and the Flyers are going to get another penalty as Peluso was just tripped. Here come the Hawks over the line. McKegney to the far corner, centering, tip to the side of the net. Reggett gloves it there, and he hangs on, and the Hawks, having just been shut out on the power play, now head to another one, trying to break a 2-2 tie.
Takes a slash of Peluso as Peluso came on a player change right in front of the Flyer bench just as the Hawk power play finished. They'll get another opportunity to get it right. They're 0 for 4 this afternoon. 2-2 game. The Flyers scoring both their goals on the power play. The Blackhawks countered late in the first period to tie it up on goals from Thomas and Roenick.
Now Murray, McKegney, and Graham step on to open this power play with Manson and Yanni. Face off to the left of Reggett. Again, Sutter and Craven for the Flyers. There's the draw, controlled by the Hawks. Manson put it around the board. Graham in the near corner. Got it behind the goal. McKegney and Barron crashed there. Now Murray looks to jam it out. He did. Got it to Graham near circle. Dirk Graham sets up shop on the boards and shoots. He scores! Dirk Graham, as Troy Murray provided a terrific screen. If it didn't hit him, he certainly didn't let Reggett have a look at it. And Troy Murray doing the work in front of the net helps the Hawks take a 3-2 lead.
It looked to me like it got by Murray and just hit Reggett. He wasn't sure. He used Murphy, and Reggett didn't see it. It looked like it just went past both Murphy and Murray, and Reggett got a piece of it but wasn't sure where it was, and it went by him. Dirk Graham should get credit for this one. Troy Murray with good work first to get the puck from behind the net to Graham. Then the shot got by. Reggett was screened both by his defenseman Murphy and Troy Murray. So it should be Dirk Graham's 15th of the year, and the Blackhawks finally score on the power play. Well, you keep taking penalties, you keep giving a team an opportunity to straighten their power play out. It's going to backfire on you, and Kartner's penalty gets the Hawk power play on track.
Chicago goal for number 33.
They do give the goal to Dirk Graham.
Assist number 19, Troy Murray.
That's his 15th of the year. Murray and McKegney giving the assist at 11:51.
McKegney's first point as a Blackhawk.
Assist Troy Murray, Tony McKegney.
Now, shot from Gilbert, handled easily by Reggett, and he hangs on. So a face-off in the Philadelphia zone. 8 minutes left in the middle period. 3-2 in favor of the Hawks, who have just grabbed the lead for the first time in the game. Chicago at one point trailed 2-0. Here's the draw to Yanni at the near point. He's open, he shoots. Reggett fought it off, made a nice save in traffic, though, and he knew he had to hang on to that with two Hawks swarming the net. Now Graham and Tocchet shove back and forth, and everybody gathers on the near side. Manson and Tocchet have already had one little set-to today with it was seemingly more of a wrestling match that time than anything, and now, again, temper is getting a little short. We mentioned the Flyers have lost 6 of their last 8 games, including the last 3 here in their own rink. Philadelphia on home ice this year, 15, 12, and 4. But they've lost 3 straight here. And Graham and Tocchet are going to be sent off.
It used to be that they wouldn't lose 12 games in 4 years in this building. And Tocchet and Graham both giving each other a shove after Reggett made a save on a wrist shot from Greg Gilbert. Penalties coming at 12:07.
Imagine in the old days of the Broad Street Bullies, the visiting team's trainers were very busy with the laundry.
And the needle. A lot of stitches.
Now here come the Flyers as Keith Acton tips it into the Hog zone. Cleared over to the far side, and Murray's there. Clearing to center, and Manson had it poke checked in the neutral zone. Taken by Acton. Rolls it into Chicago territory. Trent Yanni did well. He had an open wing and didn't cough the puck up. He fought off a check, and he managed to clear it to center ice. He was being hounded, but managed to get away from the check rather than just coughing the puck up to an open wing. Now, the Flyers, Acton dumps it back into the Hawk zone. Here's Hudson coming out with it. Streaking up the right wing boards. Hudson in on Barron. Turns behind the net. Got a rough ride there from Murray Barron. Now the Hawks keep it in. Hudson near circle. Centered. What a shot. Oh, Thomas just missed the far post by an inch on a quick release. Into the corner it goes. Poked free to the near side now. And the Flyers unable to clear it. Thomas into the corner. Presley trying to pick his way in front. He's surrounded. Couldn't pull the trigger. Hudson gathers it in. And he lost the handle along the board. And Thomas looks to gain control, but the Flyers, Craven comes up with it, leading Bill Armstrong. Armstrong over the Hawk line. Cleared it behind the net. Here's Murphy trying to center it, but he missed Craven. Now Armstrong in the near corner. Back of the net to Craven. He walks out in front center and a drive. Oh, Kartner whiffed on the shot. It trickled to Belfour, who covers it. Or was the shot partially blocked?
Steve Thomas dove headlong and just got enough of it with the shaft of his stick. The stick came out of his hand, but he prevented maybe a goal. As Kartner moved in, Armstrong on the far side in the corner. Dumps it in behind to Craven. Craven, the backhand pass faked, and on the forehand to Kartner, and Steve Thomas dives headlong, got the shaft of the stick on it, lost possession of the stick. Kartner, out of frustration, flipped the stick, tried to flip it into the crowd, but prior to that, Steve Thomas missed a great chance on a nice feed from Mike Hudson. He just missed the far post by an inch.
6 minutes to go in the second. 3-2 in favor of the Hawks. Here's the draw. Taken by Michel Goulet. Trying to feed Roenick. He couldn't hang on to it, and now into the Flyers zone. Larmer picks it up, and his shot deflects off Samuelson's stick and up into the crowd. How are the Hawks doing defensively in this period? The period is 14 minutes old. Philadelphia's had 3 shots on target. Here comes Larmer centering. Goulet got turned around. The puck hopped over his stick to Reggett, who puts the glove on it, and Lacombe just barely got enough of Goulet to hinder him from receiving the pass. Murray and Ricci will square them up. Now the draw to the Flyers. Eklund trying to tip it in front. There will be a Hawk penalty, and Philadelphia will go to the power play. Troy Murray, I think the culprit. He tried to tie up Ricci after the draw, but apparently got too much of him at 3-2 Hawks.
Right off the draw, Troy Murray gets a penalty for a holding. This will be the 11th power play. We still have 5 minutes to go in the second period. The Blackhawks have had 5, and this will be the Flyers' 6th.
Now the draw in the Hawk zone. Murphy at the near point. There's it around the boards. Ricci behind the goal. Gave it to Eklund. Ricci in the corner. To Eklund near circle. He couldn't field it, but Murphy keeps it in. Now back into the near corner. Ricci takes a look. Center one. Tocchet. Oh, great job to get rid of the shot as he was falling, but a good save by Belfour, and it's cleared to center ice. Eklund, or now Ricci over the Hawk line. Centered it. He just missed Eklund in the slot. Murphy has it at the near point. Sends it up the boards. Bouncing around, and Murphy keeps it in. Gave it to Eklund. Centered it. Here's Tocchet. He scores! Rick Tocchet, a one-timer on a mattress pass from Kelly Eklund. 3 points for Eklund in the game, and this game is tied at 3.
3 power play goals for the Flyers. Hawks failed to clear, and then Tocchet just cranked it up about a 35-footer, surprising. Belfour, he just ripped it right through the legs. Belfour couldn't get down in a hurry. And the quickness of the shot, nice pass from Eklund. The Hawks just failed to clear. Good job by Murphy to keep it in. To Eklund, and Tocchet wasted no time with Ricci in front of the net. And Belfour couldn't pick it up. And Tocchet's 200th career goal ties it up. His 38th of the year. And Eklund, his 3rd point, a goal and 2 assists for Eklund.
200 goals for Rick Tocchet, who in each of his first 2 years in the league scored only 14. 21 his 3rd year, then 31. Then he exploded for 45. Had 37 last year, and he'll likely hit his career high this season with 38 already. Steve Larmer starts the Hawks back to Roenick, leading Trent Yanni, bouncing it into the Philadelphia zone. Now Thomas on the far side. Chukwon, it's deflected well wide of the target, and that'll do it for the 2nd period. Shots on goal in the 2nd period for the Flyers, 9. For the Blackhawks, 12. 21-20. Philadelphia's outshot Chicago to this point in the game. 1 goal each way in the period. Dirk Graham on a Hawk power play for his 15th of the year. Troy Murray assisting and providing a perfect screen for the goal. Murray and McKechnie assisting Graham at 11:51. And then on a Flyer power play, Rick Tocchet scoring the 3rd Philadelphia power play goal of the game. Eklund and Murphy assisting at 15:33. After 40 minutes of play in the Spectrum, Chicago 3, Philadelphia 3. Flyers with 21 shots on goal so far in the game, and 14 of those have come while Philadelphia has been on the power play. It's been basically a special team type of game. 12 power plays already. The Hawks are 1 for 5. The Flyers are 3 for 7. Now here's the play in the Hawk zone. Eklund centered it. Tocchet, a touch pass put in front. Belfour the save as Ricci tried to slip it underneath him, and Belfour hung in there and made the blocker save to his right. Now back into the Flyer zone. Graham colliding with Barron behind the net. Poked loose to Gilbert on the far side. Turning in the corner, Greg Gilbert leaves it for Graham, who's tied up along the boards. Now the Flyers scored. Murphy able to clear it to Murray Barron. Barron over the Hawk line on Yanni. Dropped it back to Tocchet. Trying a quick turn, but he went down. And it's coming around the boards where Yanni picks it up on the near side. Hounded in the corner, then jammed it loose to Graham to Murray. Troy Murray will get it in as the Hawks head for a change. Now the Flyers clear it to center. Hawks dumping it right back in, and Samuelson plays it to the far side. Here comes Lacombe up the right wing board. His pass is broken up. Peluso flips it into Flyer territory. Terry Cartner coughed it up, and then he got the stick up a little bit on Lemieux and knocked it off of his stick as a bouncing puck in front. Chelios, he gets knocked down before he could shoot. Here come the Flyers out. Armstrong lost it as he came over the line. It results in an offside call, and Good recognition by the veteran Michel Goulet as Chelios went in deep offensively. Goulet was back to assume his point position.
Jocelyn Lemieux surprised here by the giveaway. Had to go through his legs. And then Chelios pinches in on the far side, gets it back into Lemieux. It was deflected into his midsection and just couldn't locate the bouncing puck. Chelios tried to go to his backhand, lost possession as well, and then went down to the ice. And then Goulet read the play well, saw the defenseman go in, fired at the first shift right off the bat. Great scoring chance for Ricci on a giveaway by Manson, who was picked up by Eklund to Tocchet and turn to Ricci, and a better save by Belfour. The Flyers are 6-1-0 this year when tied after 2 periods. 3-3 game. They tied it up on Tocchet's 38 to 15-33 the second period. Flyers scored first on the power play, then scored another one on the power play. The Blackhawks counter with 3 in a row to take the lead midway through the second. Tocchet 19 from Pelle Eklund. Eklund having a tremendous afternoon, only his second game back after missing 5 games with a hip flexor problem.
Keith Acton shoots it in. Belfour a good read out to the corner, knocked it away from Mellenby. Now the Flyers, Craven has it. He centered it, and it's shot well wide by Armstrong. Craven now behind the net, walks out in front, shooting. He just missed the near post. Held in by Fenbeth, put it behind the net. Taken by Craven, centering. That's shot, they score! Bill Armstrong mishandled it, but it went right to Scott Mellenby. And he popped it in, and the Flyers lead 4-3.
Dave Manson with a poor start to this third period. Coughed it up once, coughed it up again, put it into Craven. Armstrong couldn't handle it, trickles to Mellenby, and Mellenby tucks it in. He beats both Manson and Thomas to the loose puck. But Mellenby's behind the net. No one pays attention to him. Armstrong fans on it, goes to Mellenby, and he tucks it in. A giveaway, costly for the Blackhawks, and the Flyers take a 4-3 lead.
18th goal for Scott Mellenby. Armstrong and Craven will get the assist at 7:07. And Philadelphia has reached the magic of 4, the magic total of 4. They have yet to lose a game when they've scored 4 goals this year. Bill Armstrong in his first NHL game gets his first point. On the assist, he and Craven helping Mellenby at 7:07. And now the Hawks again have to try to come from behind. Here's the draw to the Flyers. Acton over the line. Into the far corner. Acton pass deflects to the near side. Now controlled by Chelios to Lemieux. He tries to feed McKechnie. It hopped away from him at center. Now Berube. Flipping it into the Chicago zone. There's Chelios to Lemieux on the near side. He took a hit, bumped off the play. It came loose to Ron Sutter. A shot right on it. A save by Belfour. Rebound Samuelson a drive, but he missed the target with that. Now Larmer comes out for Chicago. Larmer into the Flyers zone, taken off the play. Cleared back to center ice. Now Ron Sutter got a rough ride from Roenick as he crossed the Hawk line. Roenick to the corner. Sends it up the boards, not out. A shot from Kartner, though, is blocked, and here comes Goulet. He's got to tell Larmer the return pass didn't click. Goulet to the far corner. Put it in behind the goal. Larmer fought off a check. Deep slot to McGill. He tried to feed Wilson. Put it behind him, though. And it's cleared back into the Chicago zone. And they're going to rule icing here against the Flyers. 11.5 left in the third period. 4-3 Philadelphia.
Ron Sutter gets away from 2 Hawk players, gets a good scoring chance. Belfour with a good kick save. Sutter ducks under the Chelios attempted cross-check. Picks it up, uses Kuchera as a screen. Good pickup, though, by Belfour on the screen shot.
Now the draw on the Flyers zone. Cleared back into Chicago territory. Greg Gilbert gets over the Philadelphia line. Gave it to Murray. A long shot sticked away by Reggett. And controlled by Pelle Eklund. Clearing to Ricci at center ice. Beating Tocchet over the line. Rick Tocchet trying to get around Yanni, couldn't do it. And back comes Dirk Graham. He tees up a long shot, which is blocked by Dave Fenby. Now the Hawks are in offside.
Graham looking for a second, tried to sneak a long shot through the defenseman, make it difficult for Reggett. Sometimes when that shot gets through, it's tough for goaltender to pick up. Fenby, originally in the Buffalo organization, really played for Mike Keenan in Rochester in the American Hockey League. Blocked the shot. New York Islanders against the Rangers. Always a great rivalry, and the Islanders with a 5-3 lead over the Rangers. Joe Ricci giving the Islanders their 5th goal. Berg, Volek, LaFontaine. Volek is second, and Ricci is second of the year. Gardner, Leach, and Nichols for the Rangers.
Starting play today, the Islanders, 13 points out of the last playoff spot in this Patrick division. Here's an icing call against Philadelphia nearly halfway through the third. Philadelphia leads Chicago 4-3. Pat Foley and Dale Talon in the Spectrum, where the Hawks and the Flyers finish up their regular season series today. Philadelphia trying to become the first home team to win. Everybody trying to get lined up properly on the face-off, which is to the right of Reggett. And here is the draw. Bouncing loose in front, a shot, and the save by Reggett on Lemieux's backhander, and now Lemieux center one of the goal is knocked off the mooring.
We're going to rule that it was knocked off by the Blackhawks, but it looked like Reggett was knocked into it. Off the draw, it took him forever to get organized, but Kegney ties up his man. Peluso knocks Murphy off the puck to Lemieux, and a good backhand shot and a good save. Reggett pushed into the net both by Peluso and Barron. We're going to rule the faceoff should go to the neutral zone.
Starting play today in the Patrick division, the Rangers with a pretty good lead, an 8-point bulge. They have 71 points. Pittsburgh, 63. Philadelphia, 62. New Jersey, 61. Washington, 57. And then the Islanders at the bottom of the pack with 48. But it's been the pattern the last couple of years in the Patrick division that things can change in a large way in a short period of time, with teams often, a couple of teams often bunched together. In a bad week or two, you can go up or down 2 or 3 spots in the standings in a very quick period of time. Here's a little scuffle after an offside call, and Peluso is going to get a penalty along with Scott Mellenby, it appears.
Eric Craven got hit in that play by the dump-in. Murphy tries to fire one hard and caught Craven on the left arm, the left wrist, and he's in a lot of pain. Now Peluso and Mellenby will get offsetting penalties at 9:50 of the third period. A 10-minute misconduct's called both to Peluso and Mellenby. Mellenby, who scored the go-ahead goal in the third period, will be lost for the remainder of this game, unless it goes to overtime. There's a good chance of that.
I mentioned last night the Calgary Flames did the Hawks a favor by beating St. Louis, but not until Brett Hull scored 2 more goals. 63 goals for Brett Hull in 60 games for the Blues. Here come the Flyers now. Ricci a chance shooting, and he fired it wide, trying for the short side. There, DeRicci on the near board, put it in behind the net. McGill got it back to the near side. Penvitz holds it in, and his shot goes wide. Now out comes Thomas. Dave Thomas to the Philadelphia line. His shot is blocked, laying loose in front. Presley after it, couldn't get there. Now a big scramble, and it's covered up among several players who hit the deck. Halfway through the third period, Philadelphia 4, Chicago 3. Now the draw in the Flyers zone. Cleared back into the center ice area. Trent Yanni has room and throws it into Philadelphia's ice. Kartner lost it behind the goal. Big scramble now, and the Flyers pick it up and clear it back into the Chicago zone. Dave Manson got it back to center. Kartner will dump it in there. Yanni put it at the feet of Roenick, but he's able to pick it up to Larmer, who's tied up at center. Flyers dump it back in. Brett Yanni to Steve Thomas. Leading Chelios, who gains the line. Chelios to the near corner, tries to center, couldn't get it through Murphy, though. Chelios has it again in the corner. Chelios got bumped, and now Sutter, or Smith rather, looking to clear and did get it to center. Here comes Norman Lacombe over the Hawk line, shoots one and a save. Rebound, Sutter, he scores! Ron Sutter picked up the rebound, getting away from his check, and the Flyers lead 5-3.
Once again, the Hawks get enough guys back, but they just don't cover. They pay attention to the puck. Lacombe's long shot, the rebound, and Sutter just pulled away from Roenick. Roenick just turned away from him and let him get away. And Lacombe just lets it go. Hawks have enough men back. The rebound to Sutter, and Sutter just gets position and beats Roenick to the puck, and Chelios as well. But Roenick had him, let him go, and Sutter made him pay. Well, Lacombe lets it go. Well forward the save. And the rare times he leaves the rebound, but Sutter gets away from both Sutter, or I should say, Chelios and Roenick. The 14th goal of the year for Sutter.
13 minutes, 33 seconds. Ron Sutter scores for the Flyers in the 14th of the season. He's this, Norman Lacombe, Terry Smith.
Lacombe and Smith get the assist on Sutter's goal at 13:33, and Philadelphia now with a 2-goal ball. Chris Jensen clears it back into the Hawk zone. You'll be seeing a lot of this now with a 2-goal lead. The Flyers will be very conservative and not afraid to just fire it down the ice if they get in any trouble in their own end. Now Doug Wilson in the Hawk zone. Gave it to McGill. Flips it up the near side. Taken by the Flyers' Fenbus, who dumps it back in. Now Mike Ricci trying a long shot that deflects into the near corner. Graham around the boards to Gilbert. Greg Gilbert gave it to Doug Wilson. Now Troy Murray tipped it to Gilbert at center. He was stopped there by Tocchet. And it's taken away by the Flyers. Samuelson, who dumps it in. And now the Hawks try to start back. With 5 minutes left in the third period, 5-3 Philly. Here's a Ricci steal trying to center. It's picked off, and McKegney winds his way to center ice. Takes a long shot. A blocker saved by Reggett, deflecting it into the crowd. Well, the faceoff will be to the left of Ken Reggett. Reggett, who's played well, especially considering the fact he hasn't started a game in over a month. Early January, the last time that he had a start in an NHL game. He did play some in the practice game against the Soviets. Now everybody ready. Larmer and Sutter for the draw. And Gerard Gauthier just all day long has been slow to drop the puck. Here's the draw finally, and Kartner bangs it loose, not out. Chelios holds it into Larmer, and they had the shot roll off the end of his stick as he tried to rip it. Now Roenick battles the far board, jammed it loose to Chelios. Chelios at the near point, across to Doug Wilson. He lets it go. It didn't get past Sutter, who couldn't get it out. Wilson, a good job holding it in. To Chelios, deep slot shooting. That didn't get through the checking forward, or the checking forward to Craven, who sprawled to block it. Now the Hawks Goulet, near point to Chelios, lets it go, and again that's blocked. 3 straight times the Hawk point men have not gotten the shot past the top man in the box. And now the Flyers clear to center. Here's a 2-on-1. Over the line, Eklund looking for his 4th point. Kicked into the stick and centered it. Oh, and how did the man miss that? What a play by Eklund. He did a little Harlem Globetrotters and then gave it to Acton with an open net, and he somehow failed to get rid of the shot. Here come the Hawks back now. Yanni at the near point. Yanni, deep slot to Chelios, shooting ragged, gloves it, and he holds on. Kelly Eklund has a goal and 2 assists in the game, and he should have had his 4th point a moment ago. What an electrifying play. Looked like he pulled it back to his skates and kicked it right back.
He did. He kicked it, pulled it back to his right skate, moved it back, then slipped it across. Had Chelios confused, had Belfour confused, and as Keith Acton that just couldn't put it in. Any type of offensive player would have scored an easy tap-in goal, but great play by Eklund, who's had a tremendous day. And Acton just panned on it. He whiffed on a 2-footer.
Showtime for Pelle Eklund. Face off to the right of Reggett. There's the draw. Murray kicks it loose. Graham on the far side to Murray in the corner, centered it. Here's Yanni. His pass is deflected. Back to the neutral zone.
Boy, Craven and Sutter done a great job today in the penalty killing, up high, blocking shots and preventing passes.
Reggett trying to clear it himself. It's held in, though. A hand pass is ruled here against Chicago. And still 4 seconds to go on the Philadelphia penalty. And the Flyers, again, will have weathered the Chicago power play. The Hawks getting 1 power play goal today in 6 chances. Philadelphia had 7 chances. They scored 3 times on the power play.
And that's the difference right now. The Flyers having a 5-3 lead. But their first 3 on the power play.
Both teams now back at full strength. Hansen gave it to Yanni, feeding Murray at center. Shoots it around the boards. McKechnie in the near corner. Kicks it in behind the goal. And it'll be held there for a whistle.
Hardly any flow in this game at all. It's been this type of afternoon. Always a lot of stoppages, a lot of clutching and grabbing, face-offs, freezings, icings. The Flyers, you got to give them credit. They didn't allow the Blackhawks to freewheel. They pretty well dictated the pace most of the day.
And the pace, close to a snail's pace. This game will be a 3-hour game by the time it's over. Face off to the left of Reggett. 1.5 to go. 5-3 in favor of the Flyers, who will break a 3-game losing streak here in the Spectrum.
They dropped the puck first time.
An upset. Here's Keith Acton out to center ice. Acton in against McGill. Bob McGill plays the body, and back comes Wayne Presley. Presley into the Flyer end, left it for Wilson in the corner. He centered it. Here's Thomas. His shot didn't get through, and now the goal is knocked off the mooring.
With help from Reggett. Good play acting by Reggett in traffic. He pointed right away to Hudson, who went to the front of the net. And Presley trying to get around Barron. Goes to Doug Wilson. Backhand pass out to Thomas. Thomas turns and fires. Hudson goes into Reggett, and Reggett backs into the net and helps his own cause. And forced the stoppage in play with 1 minute and 7 seconds to go. Hawks have only had 6 shots on goal here in the third period, 26 for the day. Flyers have had 8, a total of 29.
There's the draw taken by Samuelson. Pushes it out to center, and the Hawks try to dump it back in, but it goes right to Kartner. And we're into the final minute. It's dumped in behind the Hawk goal. Bob McGill to Doug Wilson. And he gave it to Thomas. Now Hudson. Clearing it into the Philadelphia zone. Now the Flyers clear it back to center ice. Taken by McGill. And the Blackhawks, not counting the first, here's a two-line pass. Not counting the first game of the road trip, the Hawks now will be 2-5-1 in their last 8. They will have scored 24 goals in those 8 games, and 8 of them came in 1 and counted. So that's just 16 goals in the other 7 games.
A lot of those games have been on the road. If you don't score more than 3 goals on the road, you're not going to win very often, and that's been the story. Offense has not been coming through. Their power play today let them down, and their penalty killing, which has been superb all year, was non-existent, really. They allowed 3 power play goals for the Flyers. The Flyers were 3 for 5, 3 for 6.
Graham with a long shot, kicked away by Reggett. The clock winds down, and Philadelphia has won it. Flyers win the season series 2-1 here in the 3rd period.
The Blackhawks with 7 shots on goal finish this game with 27 against the Flyers with 29. The difference was the 2 goals in the 3rd period. One by Scott Mallenby at 7 minutes and 7 seconds on Armstrong and Craven, and Sutter at 30 minutes and 33 on Lacombe. And in the North Division, we see Chicago still holding the tie with St. Louis, followed by Detroit, Minnesota, and Toronto. Toronto is only 40 points out of 60 games. In the Smythe Division, it's Los Angeles still holding on with 73 points over Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Vancouver. And over in the Adams Division, the Prince of Wales Conference, it's Boston still in the lead over Montreal, Hartford, Buffalo, and Quebec. Quebec is really out of contention. And then at the end, the Patrick Division, the Rangers still holding a lead over the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins, despite the win of the Philadelphia Flyers. 64 points now, and the Islanders are last in that division. 5-3 was the score in our game. I leave you with the highlights, and thank you. Bye-bye.